On the Heritage Channel tonight, the history of Grimsby markets, a new Cleethorpes cultural festival and exciting community projects funded by the Heritage Starter Fund. Welcome to the Heritage Channel on Clee TV, where we explore the fascinating history of North East Lincolnshire in a monthly roundup of news, views and other stories. If you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button below, or on Facebook, join the group to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes. The North East Lincolnshire £250,000 Heritage Starter Fund is supporting local organisations with projects that widen audiences for heritage and ensure that heritage plays a key role in helping communities recover from the impact of recent events. We caught up with some of the successful applicants from round 2.
So we applied for the Starter Fund to help us with some research around a project around Great British fish and chips, working with 2 artists in London, a writer in London and a graphic novelist and reportage artist in London. It's all about getting a first part of a book started, so it's a graphic novel, and the first part is the Grinsby Chapter. So it's actually enabling us to go out and make the right connections and do some initial interviews and research around making the Grinsby Chapter a reality.
Well, obviously I'm excited about it. Now I can actually positively work forward to an exhibition date because the grants covered the production of the exhibition and production for a book. It's a total collection of the life and soul of Grinsby fish stocks. So the collection shows the whole story from 1990 to today's method of buying and selling fish in Grimsby.
I've been working as an artist for the last year or so, and I've been painting the fitters and working and doing stuff with Caroline. But I've obviously been limited by what funding wise, but this funding means that we can now implement a project that we've been talking about for ages, haven't we, really?
For about 45 years.
It's been on the back burner for ages, but doing the bid has enabled us to pull it all together, and it means we've now got a budget and we can actually go ahead with promoting the heritage.
What we're planning to do is we're planning to have a couple of sessions a week where for the first session our beneficiaries can do a bit of research as to we're looking at the history of disability in North East Lincolnshire, and especially this year it's 20 years since Foresight was officially incorporated, so a little bit about the history of Foresight as well. So we're hoping to engage with some of our longer standing beneficiaries, and then the second session we're looking at sort of the technical side of creating documentaries.
And the Grinsby Chapter will be, even though it will be part of a book eventually, it's actually going to be exhibited in different parts of the town through a trail. There'll be outputs in cafes and galleries, there will be output in the market, in the Minster. They'll be on walls, so they're very large posters that are created to put on walls. So it'll hopefully become like a trail, so you can do all the trail or you can do part of the trail and you can go and see the story unfold.
The book launches at the exhibition, and the exhibition is open to the public on the 29th of April for 6 days to the following Friday. So there is a bank holiday in between there, which would be nice, because a lot of people are off.
So we've always gone through lots of changes, just right from the initial shacks being built and moved on. And so for me, the key thing at the moment is trying to maintain some elements of the heritage and the quirkiness of the chalets without them being overdeveloped. Since lockdown, with so many people walking through and you can see them walk through and they go, wow, what is this? And there's nothing, there's no clue, and to be able to tell that story as to how it's evolved.
Guided walks, workshops, create some promotional materials,
but also some podcasts so that they can go on a QR code and then find the information out for themselves. So it's accessible to anyone who walks through. The idea is that the chalets tell the story.
For me, part of it I think is looking at sort of the history of Foresight. We have quite a few of long-standing members of staff, so looking at kind of the history of foresight and looking at people's previous experiences from before my time, I think is probably something I'm looking the most forward to. In theory, the finished result should be that we should have a series of mini documentaries, each sort of themed, that we can then put into an archive and, you know, publish on social media and publish on our website. We're also going to have a kind of showcase event at the end of each cohort so that we can, you know, we can have a screening and, you know, invite friends and families and carers.
What they're hoping to do is really, from that research and connections with Iceland and the trawlers and the Immingham docks and all of that, is actually build on that research and really look at where that goes next. But the idea is actually having an end book from it as well that will have Grimsby, you know, really highlighted and central.
We're hoping to get the Arts Council interested in taking the exhibition to other fishing ports like Brixham and Billingsgate and other venues which have a history of, like Liverpool, a history of fishing, to show it to other towns.
I was thinking that the bigger picture would be a book. It'd be nice to produce a more up-to-date book that's more celebratory and just talking about the social history and recording some memories. And also maybe do some like oral history filming down there as well.
I think longer term, you know, ideally this is the start of it really, to get sort of people's feedback and information about what they think the fitters should be like and what they'd like to see there and what information they need. And then, yes, certainly to look at a bigger funding so we can continue to work on promoting the heritage and conservation.
Applications for the Heritage Starter Fund are still open for local projects with a value of between £500 and £10,000 to come forward for consideration. Up to 100% of project funding is available, but most of the funds have already been allocated. So if you have a fantastic idea, apply before the next deadline on the 29th of December. Visitors to Cleethorpes looking for a friendly pub with good food will find the Punch Bowl just a short stroll along the North Promenade from the famous pier. Overlooking the beach and Humber Estuary, this friendly local has been owned and run by Sheila Stafford and her family for the last 33 years. The Punch Bowl is a firm favourite with local people who enjoy the friendly atmosphere and great value food.
It's got a very good selection of food, there's plenty to choose from and it's all very tasty.
And I've always come back and I've always enjoyed the experience of it.
Everyone's real friendly, all the staff know my name and what have you, and I just sort of enjoy the time I spend here.
Upstairs from the busy pub is Laces, a grand function room with separate bar and stage.
On a wedding, of course, we do a full 4-course meal, or we can do buffets.
Holding up to 150 people, it's a popular venue for weddings and birthdays and a favourite of local musicians.
Oh yeah, we are looking forward to welcoming people back into Laces and into the Punch Bowl.
Whether you're looking for good value food and drink in a friendly local pub or a grand venue for that special occasion, the Punch Bowl and Laces has it all. Cultural heritage will be a theme of the first Cleethorpes Culture Festival, taking place in March next year. The festival features live music, art exhibitions, book fairs, craft displays and a Grayson Perry-style art event. A competition to design the festival branding was run by local artist Sarah Palmer. Crime prevention plays an important role in protecting the heritage of local communities. The Safer Streets campaign in Grimsby's West Marsh is hoping the community thrive and local residents take pride in the place they call home.
So the Safer Street project is government funded money, and the purpose of the project is to reduce serious acquisitive crime on the West Marsh. So it's things as burglary, car crime, that type of thing. And so some of the things that we've been doing is improving street lighting, also to support the 7 new CCTV cameras that we've put up in the area, and they've been installed very, very recently.
From the beach markets of Viking times to the thriving indoor spaces of today, markets have played an important role in the heritage of our coastal community. Markets have existed for as long as humans have engaged in trade. The earliest bazaars are believed to have originated in Persia, from where they spread to the rest of the Middle East and Europe. Zoning policies confined trading to particular parts of cities from around 3000 BC, creating conditions necessary for the emergence of the bazaar or market. In Europe, informal and regulated markets gradually made way for a system of formal chartered markets from the 12th century. Throughout the medieval period, increased regulation of market practices, especially in weights and measures, gave consumers confidence in the quality of market goods and the fairness of prices. Across the boroughs of England, a network of chartered markets sprang up between the 12th and 16th centuries, giving consumers reasonable choice in the markets they preferred to patronise. Beach markets, which were known in northwestern Europe during the Viking period, were primarily associated with the sale of fish. Given the Viking heritage and fishing tradition of Grimsby, it is likely that this was the first market to be established in the town. Records show there has been a market in Grimsby since before the end of the 12th century, and during the period of the town's decline, they became the mainstay of economic life in the borough. Some have disappeared, some continue today. What is now the Top Town Market began life near the Market Cross to the east of St James Church and received its first royal charter from King James I in the year 1604. A corn exchange was opened in 1857, housing some market traders, and a roof extension was later erected to protect the outside stalls. The local council took over the running of the market in 1853, and after occupying various locations in the centre of town, it moved to its present building in 1976. Photography display depicts the market at various times in its life and at various sites dating back to before the 1900s. Cattle markets have been held in Grimsby since medieval times. The Corporation Cattle Market, opened in 1931 to replace the one on the site that is now the bus station, was situated at the meeting of Cromwell Road, Boulevard Avenue and Yarborough Road, where the Market Hotel now stands. The market closed in the late 1950s. Freeman Street Market had its official opening in September 1873, when corporation officials declared the market to be open and free to all comers. The corporation's authority was challenged by the freemen of Grimsby, as they claimed the land as their birthright. The challenge was upheld and the market remains in their ownership today. In 1958 it was decided to provide the market with a permanent cover. Although the new roof protected both stallholders and shoppers from the elements, many felt that the old atmosphere of Freeman Street Market had somehow been lost. The biggest transformation took place in 2014 when the market hall was completely refurbished to house both stallholders and local businesses in the business and digital hub. Today, the market remains a social hub for the local community, hosting family-friendly events throughout the year, including craft fairs, dance clubs, theatre groups and the popular Great Grimsby Food Fight. Grimsby is of course famous for its fish, and the early beach markets of Viking times developed over the centuries into a more permanent fish market alongside the Grimsby fish stocks and the processing plants of the mysterious Casbah. The importance of the town as a major centre for the fishing industry was fully recognised when the new £50 million Grimsby Fish Market was opened in 1996. A £1.2 million upgrade in 2012 saw the introduction of new temperature control and hygiene systems, maintaining its status as one of the most important fish markets in Europe. Its daily auction sells fish brought in by British and foreign vessels, as well as overland fish from Faroe, Scotland, Ireland and other British ports. Cleethorpes also has a long history of markets. The latest traditional outdoor market to be held in the ancient marketplace was established in 1998. Famous for its flower and plant displays, the market is open every Wednesday and Saturday. Cleethorpes Wonderland, with its funfair, fairground stalls, rides and a roller coaster on the beach, provided an ideal venue for a popular Sunday market. At the height of its popularity in the 1980s, it hosted up to 300 stalls. In 2005, the original owner, Dudley Bowers, sold the site to town and country markets. In recent years, the site has been used as a go-kart track, nerve force centre and a venue for concerts and wrestling shows. The market tradition continues today with a seafront indoor market which is open on Saturdays and Sundays. Markets continue to play an important role in the economy and community of North East Lincolnshire. They provide a social hub where people come together in these important public spaces to access healthy food, enjoy local crafts and culture, and honour historical legacies that provide a sense of place and identity, giving value to their lives and that of their communities. Well, that's almost all for tonight's programme, celebrating the rich heritage of our coastal community. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to join our group, or on YouTube, click the subscribe button below to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes. If you have a heritage story you would like to share, contact our news desk, heritage@clee.tv. Our very best wishes for Christmas from everyone on the Heritage Channel and Clee TV. We look forward to seeing you next year for more people, places and heritage news.
It ebbs and flows as the bell it tolls, and the sailor's time must bide. But those in need and take no heed must face the hungry tide. The Molly G, she rides the surf onto the ocean swell, her crimson sail lost in the fret and the howling gale from hell. The waves they crash on Molly's bow, the wind howls in the rigging as he trims the sail and sets a course to seek the shoals of herring. For 5 days she waits for him, and 5 days more to see the boats come in to land their catch, but not the Molly G. She fears the sea fret rising, the crimson sail to hide. She listens for the bell to ring,